Hello everybody, it's Walter, your favorite historian, educator, professor, social studies extraordinaire, and blue-collar scholar. Today's date is October 13th, 2025. This video is entitled, Trump Won't Endorse Winsome Sears. Currently, the Commonwealth of Virginia is in the midst of a gubernatorial election. Several other state officials are also on the ballot there as well. But with respect to the gubernatorial race, Winsome Earle-Sears is the Republican nominee for governor of the Commonwealth. She is also an African-American woman. It is the first time in Virginia's more than 400-year history that an African-American woman has been the nominee for governor of that state. That being said, Donald Trump, President of the United States, has refused, at least up to this point, to endorse her for governor of Virginia. Now, I have had lots of discussion with people over this, and needless to say, many opinions come about. The most prominent one being that he won't endorse her because she is an African-American woman. And while that may be true without question, I have made the argument that he will not endorse her strategically, not because he doesn't want her to win, not because she is a black woman, but rather that, like Maryland, Virginia, while having its absolutely undeniable Republican elements, Virginia is not a MAGA state any more than Maryland is, okay? A Trump endorsement of Winsome Earle-Sears may be more detrimental than helpful in a state where Democrats obviously wield considerable power, as well as independent, middle-of-the-road voters, again, like in Maryland. We saw the same thing happen to us in 2022 in Maryland, where we had a MAGA-endorsed candidate run for governor in this state, and ultimately he went down in defeat to his Democratic opponent. So this is not to suggest that had Dan Cox, the Republican nominee for governor of Maryland in 2022, this is not to suggest that had he not been endorsed by Trump, he would have won. But a Trump endorsement almost certainly killed his chances of becoming governor of Maryland. And of course, we elected Wes Moore as governor in 2022. And I say this to make a similar argument. Virginia and Maryland in many ways are very similar. And I think that Trump has refused to endorse Winsome Earle-Sears for that very reason. I'm more than sure that he would love to see her become the Commonwealth's first African-American female governor. And this is why I can't necessarily buy the whole racial part with respect to that, because he has endorsed Congressman Byron Donalds to be governor of Florida. He has endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy to be governor of Ohio. Okay, both of these are men of color. One is African-American, the other is Indian-American. The only differential between those two and Winsome Earle-Sears is that Winsome is a woman. So I can't necessarily believe that the race part is exclusive here. The fact that she is a woman of color, again, I concede may have something to do with it. I would like to not think that, but, you know, with Donald Trump, anything goes. Who knows? There are a lot of double standards with this guy. Nevertheless, okay, I would hope that the reason, and like I said, I back it up based on analogy and actual strategy, I would presume that he has not endorsed her strategically because he feels that an endorsement in a weak Republican state like Virginia would do more harm to her candidacy than good. All right. I don't see him simply shunning her just because she's a black woman, or just because she's not likely to win. Okay? Which actually I forgot is another reason a lot of people have also said that he hasn't bothered to endorse her, because he might feel that she doesn't really stand a chance against Abigail Spanberger. Who knows what the real reason is? But like I said, of all of those presumptions, I am going to say he's avoiding her out of strategy because he doesn't want to hurt her campaign. In a state like Virginia, Trump endorsement may push a lot of moderate voters, independents, against her candidacy to vote for Abigail Spanberger. Trump is not overwhelmingly popular in Virginia, same as in Maryland. And so that might actually serve to help Abigail Spanberger win that election there if Trump were to give an endorsement to Winsome Earle-Sears. And he's playing it real strategically, not even acknowledging the woman, let alone giving an endorsement. All right, so it's deep. So he's playing his cards, to me, very carefully with respect to the Virginia gubernatorial contest. But as always, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know everything, and I welcome all ideas, thoughts, and opinions. And I'm sure you have some. So leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to engage in thoughtful, peaceful, civil discussion with you. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you at the next one. Professor Shelton, the Blue Collar Scholar, out.